Welcome to renttv, the cancel show. This is the late night version, by the way. So hide your kids. Yeah, I do this shit late too, man. You know, the kids are supposed to be asleep, nigga. Anyways, there's this like perception that if you have some type of knowledge or if you search for knowledge, that you're supposed to be this boring, stay at home, scared of the world, don't do shit type of person. Don't get me wrong, like I just made a video talking about how these joints be sexualized and everything. And that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, yeah, those are kind of jokes and there's like half truth to it or a certain percentage of truth to it. But at the end of the day, what I'm really saying is people expect you to just be boring. Like with them joints that like, even if they strip or they know how to like dance on a pole or whatever, like I'm not saying they're strippers. Even if they're not strippers, they know how to do that shit. It's cool. I'm not saying it's like just because you woke or you have knowledge or so-called woke, because I don't even like that term no more. You have knowledge that you can't be like that, like you don't do shit like that that's labeled fun. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying like there's a difference between doing that and these joys know what they're doing, basically is what I'm saying. You can do all that stuff, but these joys know what they're doing is what I'm saying, bro. They know what they're doing. Like it's like they're milking it, bro. It's like a like you could be woke, but no diddy. There's a difference between that and weaponizing that too, or like trying to like benefit from that. I mean, you can try to benefit from that. It's just weaponizing it. Is that when you're weaponizing it, like these guys know what they're doing. Basically, they're weaponizing it. But what I'm saying is, you can't no did it. You can't view people, which is what people do. They view people as like, oh, just because you have knowledge or you search on knowledge or you share knowledge and you want to like connect with people that do the same, that oh, you're supposed to be this boring person, you're supposed to talk like this, look like this, be like that and all that. Nah, not necessarily, bro. That's never been the case. You know, that's never been the case. It's just like how a lot of people think street guys, this is like a different, I'm just talking, like just moving to the next thing. But it's just like there's this connotation where they think street guys are like dumb, they're just stupid, like they don't know anything, they're just ignorant. Like for you to be a street guy, you gotta be some dumb moron who doesn't know anything and you just don't care about life. And that's far from the truth, bro. Some of the smartest people I've met were street guys, bro. To keep it real with you. Like, you can't be in the streets and you stupid, bro. You're gonna end up in jail. Or not saying they're not smart people who end up in jail too for being in the streets, but you're gonna end up in jail or dead. And it's like for you to walk that line and live that life, bro, you gotta have some type of intellect, bro. Especially if you make it to a certain level. You gotta have some type of intellect, bro. Stupid people don't make it to a certain level or make it in the streets, bro. You gotta have some type of intellect. Now intellect doesn't necessarily mean you talk a certain way or like school intellect is just one form of it. If you would even call it that, just one form of it. There's other things like that takes intellect. Survival takes intellect, but you can't be stupid and survive, but especially in a certain environment, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's different forms of intellect. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be the smartest person in the world, but you go next to a farmer to do some farming, you're an idiot. You see what I'm saying? It's different things, but it doesn't mean intellect is different. There's different forms of it, bro. It's just knowledge is just knowledge, bro. You know, the only real way to like measure intellect, if you ask me, is common sense. That's the one thing that's like the common factor in measuring intellect. Outside of that, it all like just depends on what you specialize in, you know. But there's an negative connotation, especially when it comes to like, oh, at least one of the things is like with street guys, where people just think, oh, street guys are stupid. Like, no, bro. And then when they find like a guy like Nip, they just make Nip seem like, yeah, Nip is an anomaly, but not because he's a street guy. He's an anomaly because he's Nip. He's not an anomaly because he's a street guy. There are a lot of street guys who are smart, like who could be perceived as smart as like Nip is, or even smarter, bro. Like these are all facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times you get to see a lot of these when sadly enough, when they go to jail and they actually sit down, and that's the side of it that's like crazy to me sometimes. But that's how life be. I get it. How sometimes with life, it's like when you live in a certain life, and this could go outside of the streets. It's just in general, people could relate. When you live in a certain life that's just fast and it's just back to back, it could just be even working. You could just, you could just be someone who works a lot or have a lot of jobs. You never have time to really sit down and like do anything else but that. No Diddy. But a lot of these street guys, most of the time, the only time they really have time to do, like, to actually sit down and think and like just to stop moving just for a second. Cause bro, like, again, and this, you could take this even out of the streets, where just like, if you just live a life where you never have time to sit down and like, but it's hard for you to even search for anything, like as far as knowledge, or for you to even like get a time to like just figure out like, damn, like what's going on in my life? Like what's going on? Like what do I need to expound on? What do I need to, you know, a lot of these guys, the only time they really get time to do that is like in jail. That's when they start reading and they start finding out, oh damn, I actually enjoy reading. They start finding out about religion. Oh damn, I'm actually into this type of religion. They start reading all these scriptures from these books. They start learning even the law that they were so-called breaking. They even start learning about that shit. To a point where some of these guys know more than their lawyers. They're the ones telling their lawyers what to do. You see a lot of these guys coming home because they found some type of loophole. It wasn't the lawyer that found the loophole. It was them. Like some of them get into like shit like anime. There's spirituality in that. There's like knowledge, there's culture in that from a whole different side of the world. They start learning about all these things because now they finally have time to sit down and it's like, and actually think, you know? But that's just one side of them, of it. There's another side where it's just like a lot of street guys do that on the regular. They actually have this knowledge. They actually know all these things. But a lot of people, I guess maybe they'd never have those conversations, or they were never close enough with some of these people, or they were never like exposed. You know what I'm saying? But there's this stereotype behind like whatever people would perceive as woke, where they just think if you woke, you're supposed to be a certain way. And it's like, if you're not that way, it's like you're supposed to be some boring person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just boring. Of course, there's people who weaponize it too, but I'm just saying, like, outside of that, it's just they think you're supposed to be this boring person who talks a certain way, looks a certain way. You are like this. And if you anything outside of that, it's like, oh, like, what are you doing? Are you like pretending? Are you just acting ignorant? Are you faking? Are you a fraud? Are you this? Are you that? They're always trying to find some type of reason outside of, nah, I'm into that. It doesn't mean that I'm not into knowledge too. You feel me? That's how a lot of like so-called woke people feel. Like, doesn't mean I have to be restricted to be like that. Like, you could be anyhow and still be so-called woke. You could still search for knowledge and be however you are, bro. It's not you don't have to be a specific way, bro. Like, that's not how it works. Like, knowledge is something anybody could tap into. Anybody could have. Anybody could fiend for. Feel the desire to have. Anybody, bro. It's not oh, only this type of person can have it. Only this type of person. Like that's weird. But it seems like that, like, it's just crazy.